from your junior days and experience, any piece of advice for these ages? Basically, obviously, anywhere from the 13, 14-year-olds all the way up to the 20-year-olds, big time in their lives. And whether they're trying to make junior team, they're on the junior team, they're trying to get that scholarship, like anything you can pass along from your experience.
Yeah, a few things. I mean, the first thing I would say was enjoy it. It goes by quick, as I'm sure you would attest to as well. Especially the junior and the college days, it goes by like that. And it's a great time in your life. You're playing the game you love. So yeah, I would say that's the number one thing is have fun and enjoy it because it goes by quick and enjoy the camaraderie, with the teammates and things like that. And then the other thing I would say would be to use your time and manage your time and your energy well. I mean, I know my first 2 years of junior, and I mean, times have changed a little bit, as you know, like we didn't have, it's kind of like the old stories from the NHL camps, like training camp was to get in shape. And, we did a little bit off season training, but, specifically for the seasons themselves, I wish that I would have utilized some of that time away from the rink better. Whether it be like visualization or, going to the rink. Like we have these rinks available to us, like go there, go on the ice an hour early and work on like a part of your game that you want to get better at, right? The coaches will go out with you. So things like that, I think just managing that time better or maybe you want to like pursue this business that you really like, but you're a good hockey player too, right? Just, it really could be anything. But if you're really focused on hockey, yeah, like use that time and explore some resources that might be available to you and use them. Because again, we're at the rink for 2-3 hours a day. You got all day, right? I know I took some like college courses, but again, I everyone knows that you got some time that you can use, right? So
Yeah, definitely. This is for all the parents out there. As even my parents were telling me, I should be taking a class or keeping busy in that sort of way to keep the mind fresh and going.
yeah,
I was taking a one class at Quantum College in Vancouver when I was with Surrey in my second season, but I got traded, so I had to stop that
yeah,
course.
yeah.
And in Power River, I didn't take any of the classes. And then in my merit season, I didn't have to take any of the classes, or I chose not to. So I
Right.
think the big one I pass on is kind of the same thing to you. Utilize your time away from the rink. Don't just, as much as there is time to enjoy the junior hockey life and the lifestyle to, have your fun and meet your buddies and all that stuff. But I think there's also that balance of working on yourself and
Yeah,
keeping those options and opportunities open for
totally. Yeah.
in the coming.
Yeah. Again, there's room to have fun and hang out with your buddies but you're not going to do that for the other 8 hours a day. Well, and if you're doing it, maybe try and mix it up and do other things too, right? So yeah, it's all a balance and I totally agree. Just, yeah, kind of use that.
Yes. So any mentors, coaches, anyone play a big part in your hockey career? Any stories that you may have that you want to share?
Yeah. I mean, my, parents obviously are always a huge factor. My dad and my mom were probably the number one on there. I really just loved how I never felt pressure from them. And it was, if this is something you love to do, then by all means we support you. And I never got talks of, you played bad or here's what you need to do. And it was always just come to us if you want to talk. And I really respected that and just really just being free. And, if it was something I didn't want to do, then again, it was totally up to me. So I really respected that, the way they kind of guided me through my career, where it was just, or not even say career, but leading up to junior hockey, right? If that's the path you want to go, then do it full steam kind of thing and make sure you do it 100%, right?
Yeah.
And then the other guy was actually a guy I don't know if you might know his name, maybe not, Larry Black. He was the GM for the junior B team in Revelstoke, the Grizzlies I played for. And so we were affiliated with Vernon. And, when I again, I was 16, 17, and I was like, oh, maybe I could play junior A. I mean, like the WHL wasn't an option for me. Like I never got invites or anything, right? So
Which is really interesting. Like I could see you fitting that style play back then, maybe more than the junior at that time. But
I was small though. I wasn't a
yeah,
big guy. Yeah, I was pretty small.
yeah, they was big back then too. Yeah.
Yeah, and for that role I was playing, um, yeah, it just wasn't an option for me. I could have gone to camps maybe, but I was set on the scholarship, right? And you can't go explore the major junior route if you want to do that, right? You'd be ineligible. So, anyways, yeah. So Larry Black, I remember he sat me down after my first year. So I played junior B my grade 12 year, and I was going to Vernon's camp, and I'll never forget. And Larry passed away years back. God rest his soul, he was a good man. But I remember he sat me down after the year because I had a pretty good year in junior B, and I think I had 40 or 50 points. So again, I had my role, but I had that element too. I was I think I was a top 6 role, but I remember he pulled me into his office, and speaking to the identity piece, he told me, you are not a goal scorer, and don't forget that. Because he probably knew, right? He knew I was going to go to junior and I wouldn't be a top 6 role. He's like, you are this, you are not that. And don't forget it. And that's what he told me. And I'll never forget it. And I, I went to Vernon and I relished that role and I did well with it. So, yeah, I would say he was a huge part too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a great story because, you come across all these kids, especially young kids who doesn't want to score goals and be that goal scorer to get all the recognition, I guess you'd say. And
Yeah,
that's
everyone wants to do that. I didn't want it. Would I rather have been a 50 goal scorer than a fighter? Yeah, of course. But I just wasn't that. So,
and so
and I
some
decided to do
players,
that. But
some of the players just need to, I think, have a good thought or a little reflect and accept that, and
yeah, and
to give them the best opportunity to make the next levels and
well,
whatever their
totally.
goals are, to play in the NHL, to play pro or college
Yeah,
hockey.
if you're trying to make the next level, you need to identify like, okay, how can I get there? Right. And I mean, we all know who the best players are in the teams. And if you're not that, then don't try to be that. But like, you have to still obviously work on your game and you have to get better.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both. Of doesn't mean you can't strive to be that. Like that's what I did. I was a first line guy my senior year at Brown, but I didn't start there, right? So I guess like at this moment right now, who are you and where are you? Because right? We all know, like if you and I were to play on the junior team when we're 18 years old, I'm like, okay, I know I'm not Brandon Wong, and you know that I'm not this either, right? Everyone knows who you are and who the better players are skill wise, and again, identify that. And doesn't mean you can't get better and work on it, and you need to do that. But again, you got to identify where you're at now, and don't try and be that. Fulfill a role first, and then add to that. I think is important. So